straight all fucking day. Anyway.
Sometimes it just takes a hot minute, okay? Like, you can't always be good to go with everything in your life. It's not practical to expect people.
H-O-T-T-O.
Yeah, you can't be hot. You can't be hot to go because you'll like yell at people and tell them to fuck off and leave you alone or
I
something.
haven't been hot to go in like 4 or 5 years.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
it. Roll the credits.
Is this
That's
thing
great.
on?
I will say though that is an earworm, that song.
Yeah.
Apple Road. I was like, oh, damn, I feel it. I feel it. Oh damn, I feel it. It happened.
Yeah.
Pony Club. They both get stuck up in there.
Yeah, she does write a mean song. She's doing pretty well for herself. Our Chapel. She's just having a moment with the fame, you know.
It happens.
Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the big
Vera's
Pony
off.
Club. It's in your
And we will
fucking
keep
head.
dancing at the Pink Pony Club that is UCR Live. As you can see, it's a trio of
I just kicked my
tantalizing, tantalizing. I don't know what's another T word. My brain's not working today. I was going to say twats. Tantalizing twat. Look, we all have a great similar thought process. That's very exciting, isn't it? Oh my god, you guys make me laugh. It's Chapel Road. Get it? I've been a bit musical all over the place. Actually, I got sucked into Netflix. Have a show called Pop Star Academy, and it's about
I can't
this
get into my fucking Fire Stick.
It's about
fried
a
or something. I can't get
girl
on any
group.
of my streaming.
Like, it's a world. They did a worldwide casting for this girl group that they trained like a K-pop group. So they trained them for 2 years before they developed this. Yeah, Pop Star. How unprofessional! Someone's phone's not off.
Who could it be?
Who could it be? Yeah, so they trained them for 2 years and they filmed the process and this. Yeah, Pop Star Academy Cat's Eye. It's called because the band's called Cat's Eye. They're out now. They're very talented girls. It's like Jesus Christ, you can work it out. But yeah, that's what I binge watched last week. I was like, must watch all episodes right now, everyone. It was exciting. But yeah, Christina, what have you been up to this week, my love?
I have been off work, so I have been doing all of the things with my kid, my daughter, because she's home with me while my son is in like his program. So we went to the beach with my parents yesterday. I cleaned her entire room, like top to fucking bottom. When I tell you, shit was just every fucking where. Like, the room has been lived in, okay? Like, lived in. And it was just bad. I mean,
you did post
all
it
the
on
little
Facebook.
Pieces. I posted it on TikTok.
Yep.
I made a TikTok. The video that I made though, like, cut off the end, so I had to post like some random ass video that was just like a bunch of clips of us. And then like I made like a 5-minute video because it lets you make a 10-minute video now, and I wasn't gonna make a 10-minute video, obviously. But like after all my cuts and whatever, it was like 5 minutes, and then I hit next, and it only showed me the last 2 seconds of like her clean room, and I'm like, fuck, like, so I lost all that. Anyway, so that was done, and then we went to the park. I just spray painted the Thomas the Train thing, like this little train ride.
I saw that. Yeah.
Came out really cute, I have to say.
Looked really cute.
You've been hardcore, mobbing it.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Hardcore.
but I'm burnt to a crisp. I did not put any like sunblock on, so like I'm in like my chest is in a lot of pain, but like, and I'm all burnt. Like, oh my god, you have no fucking clue. I'm like,
You need to aloe yourself
stupid
up.
idea.
All this,
my child was lathered up.
You're turning into a trail wife in a week.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wear a tank top so that I don't get like a farmer's tan. And it just, I mean, oh my god, it was beautiful out today, though. I really have to say, yesterday was boiling hot, but today was beautiful and not humid at all. So I didn't really feel it.
We're starting to get summer weather in winter. Like it's warm out. Like I was in shorts and a t-shirt today. I went to the old doctor at 8:30 this morning, and it was shorts and t-shirt weather. I was like,
wow,
it's winter.
crazy.
Thank you, global warming.
Global
Yeah.
warming.
Well, it's also making you kill giant black grasshoppers, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Beetles.
I have to keep making sure that it's dead under the
It's
desk
really dead. Yeah.
because like I killed it
It's
like literally 30 seconds before we went live. And I'm just keep checking. I see the guts, like the guts are
Yeah.
we're clearly out of it.
That means nothing though, because
Yeah,
how
it doesn't
often
rule
It
how often
anything.
do you
doesn't.
see like something crawling with half its bits out? You're like,
Oh,
oh, it's just coming for
I
me,
forget.
and now she's pissed off. It's like,
It's
no.
fine. Like when I moved the chair out, that's when I saw it hop, and I was like, "Fuck!" And then I was like, just stomping the shit. And with all the cords that I have under there for my monitors and my computer for work, I mean, to get to it, I had to
Yeah, right.
whatever. It's
Yeah.
fucking dead, and I'm just if I keep looking down, that's what you know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a dead cricket on the floor, and
Should we have some?
it's been a
Speaking of
fucking week. Yeah, it's really
speaking of insects and causing problems, should we have a trip down memory lane?
oh god, about what?
What?
It involves none of us here. Oh, it involves me.
Ah,
Ready?
Why don't you tell the people at home what you're doing, Jeffrey?
We're gonna kill some bees.
This could end up very My Girl slash
girl.
Blair Witch.
Oh, look at them all in the window.
So we're going to that's a lot of bees. So we're going to document this for my mum, for Josh's mum. Don't make those noises.
Getting brave.
There's falling leaves here, which is also very upsetting. I'm going to step
Falling
away and watch
leaves?
Jeffrey throw this powder into the air and kill himself with it. Powder that you're not supposed to get on your hands, skin, or breathe in.
Powder of life! That was pretty easy.
It can't be that easy, girl.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Alright, stay tuned for bees round 2.
Excuse my heavy breathing.
Oh,
My
God.
blocked sinuses. I've come over and I've got blocked sinuses.
Spotting at his head. Ah!
Oh, that was good times when Jeff had a bee invasion. Good times.
Oh my
Good
god.
times. It's always funny. There's always something going on in that house, isn't there? Always something.
Oh yeah.
Vera, what's been going on at your house? You've been absent, but you've
I
returned.
was absent. I was in Chicago the week of the Democratic National Convention. I, of course, was not invited, but my sister Dia was, and I took the spare bed in the room and did a lot of sightseeing and ate a couple Chicago dogs and a deep dish pizza. Saw some sights. Had a good time.
Good work.
Nice.
Yeah.
How is it
We're
there?
trying to.
The weather was
I'm
gorgeous.
surprised, Christine. I think you went
It
there.
was so fucking beautiful. It was
I'm
like
not going to talk about it. But I'm just going to tell you about Chicago. I want to know Chicago. I've never been to Chicago.
oh, it was really cool. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful city, much more walkable than New York. I know, poor bees.
No, the bees had to go. They were inside the house. They were in the basement. It was getting very My Girl. Very. Did you ever see that movie? Remember the Alicia Silver? Oh, here we go. Alicia Silverstone movie, The Crush, or was it The Babysitter? We're in the dark room where she let the guy was in the dark room. And she let all those bees go and they stung him to death. It was very that in Jeff's basement.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it was very that.
Did
So
you
look,
see
we
the
don't
bean?
always. The bean.
Sorry.
The bean.
Isn't the bean in Chicago?
Oh yes, I did. It's
Yeah?
very cool.
Cool.
Yeah. There's so much
That's awesome.
public art in Chicago. It's a
Did you flick
gorgeous
it?
Town. You can't flick it. It's like 400 feet high.
That's a big bean to flick, baby.
You flick
Flick
it, your
that
fingers
thing.
are gonna go, ow.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. That's a hard bean.
They
to flick.
could,
Yeah.
they could
Did
anyway.
not
You
get to
never know.
Wrigley Field
Oh,
and didn't get to the Art Institute, but I did almost everything else on my list.
Awesome.
BCV. Yeah, it's
Next.
nice to be a tourist sometimes. Just go.
Well, I was
Yeah.
still post COVID and I was really run down. So even though it's like a really walkable city, It's like
Who wants
Yeah.
to walk? Yeah,
8 blocks was kind of like my limit. It's like, and then I needed a seated rest.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's one of those little scooters.
Yeah.
Little rascal. She's a rascal. Get a
Yeah.
rascal out.
Not quite
That's actually
ready
not a
to
bad idea.
admit that.
We're not quite
I
in
fuck it. I
rascal
love
territory.
shit.
I know.
If I can pull
That's
into
gonna be
it,
like
watch out, motherfucker, beep beep. Yeah.
just with
That's
two
all you
cans
do,
on
yeah.
either side of your head. I'm here, motherfuckers.
A little
Let's
flag on the
go.
back
Yeah.
too. I would eat that shit up.
Oh, it's
You can say
Tassels on the
amazing.
hot to
handle.
go.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You
Yes.
got it, V.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it. That's the way we roll in
All
this
day.
house. Hot to go. It's fucking amazing. I was just saying to
Title of the
Vera, we've got 45 days until I'm jetting over there again. So,
I know.
America,
What
I
were
will be
the-
in you
what was-
soon.
What was the weekend you wanted to go to New York? Because I got to make sure I got.
Oh, look, I can't remember, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about after
Yeah, let me
Halloween.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll catch up. No big whoop.
Yeah.
We'll catch up.
Yeah, I'll make
No
you
big
deserve
whoop.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Stop it. We'll come hang out in the neighborhood. Oh, God.
That's
Yeah.
right. We'll all
Oh,
be in the
God.
same pod.
No, nice. That's always funny when something. Look, we get together, funny stuff happens. It doesn't matter what combination. Doesn't
Funny
matter
stuff
what
happens
combination
when
of
we're on
people.
3 different continents.
Doesn't matter what combination of people it is. There's always just a story to be told. It's like someone's fallen over, someone's drunk, someone's doing something they shouldn't be doing. End of story. That should just be the. It should be the byline. Do you know? I had. Speaking of bylines, I had my thank you Facebook memories. Oh my god! I turned it
Why
off.
you turning it off?
I turned it off. What's going on?
If one of us was doing that, you'd be mad.
Yeah, but I'm the boss, so it's okay. It's all good. It's funny I should mention that because do you know?
Oh man.
4 years ago now, just over 4 years ago, was my first podcast appearance a couple of weeks ago.
Really?
Mid-August.
I was
4
thinking
You're
years.
saying in 4 years I'll be the boss, or is that no?
I'm taking
I
submissions,
was
you know.
in the-
Not
I
happening.
was in the ladies' room at work, and I was thinking, I think Steve's anniversary's coming up.
Yeah,
shit.
we've been in each other's faces for 4 years. Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy times. But yeah, let's talk some shit, eh? Because that's what we're good at.
I'm
We are
ready.
good at it. Let's talk. Oh wait, I've gone too high.
Fired up.
I hate it when you get too high. We're going to talk this week.
Hot load of hot topics.
Did you just say you can't get too high?
Yes.
I beg to differ.
Sorry,
I have
cut me
seen some people that are definitely too high, and myself, I have been too high. It's called my 20s.
Yeah, I got a few
Go.
stories that were crossed the line.
Just, yeah.
Well, not just stupid. Just stupid.
Just
Yeah.
the things you do when you're young, and you go, yeah, that's a great idea. Well, it's been a pretty tame week in the pop culture world. It's been no one's been doing anything, not even a Britney signing.
Thank God.
Christina, not even.
Amen.
Last I heard she was in Mexico. She was in Mexico with her
Good.
brother. Good on her, going
Good.
crazy,
Yeah,
drinking it up.
having fun.
That sounds much safer.
Living
than where
life.
she has been,
Everyone-
I guess.
Yeah.
Everyone's been very, very calm. I mean, like, of course, everyone's doing their. I know what. Look, Donnie hasn't said anything too stupid this week. It's been very chill. I'm like, hello?
Well,
we run a pop culture podcast. Hello, anyone? Does anyone want to do anything this
you
week?
did stand in the graveyard and give the thumbs up with the cheesy
Well,
smile.
That's not earth-shatteringly stupid. We come to expect stupid stuff. Like even Sleepy Joe's not doing anything. No one's
He's on the
doing nothing.
beach.
Yeah,
He's on
good
the
on
beach,
him.
man. He's having a good
He's
fucking
checking it.
vacation.
He's like he's counting
like,
those
"All right,
days.
I
He's
am
like
on the
Yeah.
verge of
Put his
retirement,
fucking feet up.
kids."
Yeah.
he's like, all right, I'll just sign this. I'll sign this. I'll sign this, and then it's time to go. Hot to
Yeah.
go, Joe. We'll call him
Yeah, hot to
Hot to
go.
go, Joe.
Yeah,
But
he's
there
out.
was a little bit of tragedy, I guess, with for oh, it is a tragedy. I guess. It is definitely a tragedy for Vera's favorite singer, Mariah.
Yes, that is sad though.
This is great. Her
Yeah.
mother and her sister both passed away, unrelated,
exact
on the
same day.
same day.
So
Isn't that
crazy.
insane? Isn't that
No cause of
insane?
death
Like,
has been released for either of them.
no. Now,
Yeah, what is that?
Mariah and her sister have had a tumultuous relationship, we shall say, as most
Good word.
celebrity siblings do that don't make it to fame. You know, they have a tumultuous relationship. That Mariah famously said in her autobiography that her sister put her in several situations where she felt unsafe as a child, and obviously they never really. Well, you would hope, like, I don't know, you have these problems with family. It's called life, you know. Not
Right.
Oh
everyone's
yeah.
supposed to. Not everyone agrees with everything that someone does, and you know we all have different points of view and different moral compasses, etc., etc. But you would hope that they were in an okay place, because unfinished business is always the worst kind of thing, especially when someone shuffles off. You're like, oh, should I have said this? Could I have said this? Etc., etc. But it's yeah, I feel sad for her. I feel sad
Well,
for her about that.
losing two such close family members in such a short time has got to be awful.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do if I lost my mom, and then to lose my sister. I mean, you know, me and my sister are basically best friends. You know, I don't know. Me and my mom.
Oh my
you know,
God,
are
Christina!
best friends.
Does that mean you would legally inherit Tim?
No. No, my nieces have to take care of Tim at this point.
He's moving in.
Yeah, no,
I don't
Uncle
know. I
Tim's
think when
moving in,
you're
kid.
under 18, you might get custody.
oh shit. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm Daisy's. My oldest is niece's. Oldest is Lucy's godmother,
Yeah.
so she's mine
Yeah.
automatically. Like I win her, which I'm totally fine with. She'll definitely help me out with that. Haley is a
Yeah.
whole nother story. So yeah.
It's very interesting when stuff like this happens to you find out where you sit in social settings, in like your friendship group, like priority list. When somebody in your life dies, I guess you find out who really cares. And it's not necessarily always necessarily the people that are there every day. Like that,
I'm going to defend the people who don't show up.
yeah, like not necessarily show up, but
I tell you,
it's not about physical closeness. It's like it's
It-
just like, you know,
at
that
my
make sure you're
age,
okay.
I've lost both my mom and dad. And there were friends who didn't come to the funeral, but who still are there for me in other ways. You know, it's like, well, I'm not going to call anybody out, but, you know, they might not have showed up for the funeral or they might not have brought a dish to pass, but they still showed up for me in different ways. And that's okay.
Yeah,
know?
that's what I mean. Not necessarily physical closeness, but the people that are going to reach out to you, make sure that you're okay, and that, you know, that what do you need?
Yeah.
How do you help? And then people that just like surprise you out of nowhere. And so
Yeah, it's like,
I had
we're going to the movies, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
2 weeks later, it's like, okay, this is kind of what I need today. Yeah.
I had one of my friends drive nearly 6 hours, and I had like we're still COVIDing, we're still like limited people at funerals and all this kind of stuff, and I didn't ask, I didn't say anything, but she was just there. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, wow. Like, you don't expect that. I guess your world becomes so focused on,
Right.
you know, death
Right.
admin as much as it is. Like, it is death admin.
And
You're like,
also just your loss becomes a bubble. It surrounds you, and it you know, the other stuff is not breaking through in that
Yeah.
time, you know. And then out
Definitely.
of the blue, somebody pops into the bubble, and they're like,
And it shocks you, like, oh,
it shocks,
okay.
and it's like, oh, thank you for showing up, even though it's not at the funeral or with a dish,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's but you know, muzzle, like not muzzle. Condolences to Mariah. I know that
absolutely.
she's very busy.
I had forgotten that's where we started this.
She wants privacy. She wants privacy
Yeah.
at this time. You can have it, babe.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're sad for Mariah. Happy news for anyone, I guess, that lived through the 90s, if you were a music head. I didn't see this coming at all, but Liam and Noel Gallagher have agreed to reform Oasis. They're going on a 25th anniversary tour, and Ticketmaster, etc., are already shitting their pants because the demand for tickets on pre-sale is Taylor Swiftian. They're saying
Wow.
the demand for these tickets is going to be of that level of craziness. So,
Wow.
I grew up in the Oasis era. I was never
remember
really
Oasis, but not
was
with
never
that
really
kind
my
of-
jam. But
Yeah.
like,
not with that kind of
I'm all-
deference or
I'm all for like 90s nostalgia. Like they are one of the highest. The statistics are insane. I was reading, where is it? As of 2024, Oasis has sold over 75 million records worldwide, making one of the best-selling artists of all time.
Wow, great.
Wow.
75 million. That's insane.
I'm just
They only
gonna
did like
see,
4 albums, 4 or 5 albums, I think it was. Like four albums, yeah. So it's look, not my bag, but you go for it. I do love a
liked them,
reformation.
but I didn't.
You know what? I would 100 fucking, because now I'm just remembering what they sing, because I'm like really
Yeah.
bad with the artist names.
Yeah.
And I just looked up. I would 100 fucking % spend whatever the fuck I had to just go see them. Like I really would. I mean, if they are just as like, I don't care really if they are just as good as they were, just to hear those songs live. After all that time, like that would be like a nostalgia.
Yeah, don't look
like,
back. Don't look back in
mind
anger.
fuck.
Always gets me. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I'm
Like
with you.
Champagne Supernova. I mean, again, I'm just like looking at this, and I'm like, oh yeah, I like that song. I like that song. I like that.
Yep.
Like they had a really good.
I had a good run.
Yeah, like what's it
But
called?
again, that's what happens working with siblings too. That Liam and Noel are famously fractious in their relationship, and I never saw it coming. Like I thought, this isn't a crew that will ever end up back together. But never say never. They're getting
Why not?
They're getting a good ass payday for it too. So more the merrier. More the merrier for that. But the 90s and noughties nostalgia, the way to go, babe. You want to sell those tickets? You go for it. You go
Sorry,
for
I'm
it.
in the 80s nostalgia group.
It's all right. There's still people, like the amount of people that are. It's really funny when you look at it and go, oh, okay. The amount of nostalgia acts, quote unquote, that are still out there touring. You're like, fucking hell, you go for it.
Come on, everybody I've seen in the last year is a nostalgia
Tiffany?
act.
Tiffany's going off.
The ultimate nostalgia.
Yeah. But I'm just like, these little, like, 1 or 2 hit people. You're like, I think you're alone now. You're still out there touring, baby. She's going for it. She is
getting a demerit for that. That was a bad one.
All right. Now this is, speaking of feeling old, this one, and I was like, oh my god, it cannot be that long. But last week was the 23rd anniversary of the death of Aaliyah as well.
That one made me feel sad.
Look, and the more that's, you always think that, accident, but the more that keeps coming out about how that accident happened and all the things, it's just it's a tragedy for pop culture, for music. As Beyonce wouldn't be Beyonce if Aaliyah was still around. Like,
oh no,
let's look at it. She was, and that's always the thing with her. is the potential like that. You don't know. She could have like hit the
Right.
heights and been the world's biggest star, or she could have,
She was certainly on her way to those heights.
she was,
Like a Selena.
A Selena, exactly like a Selena. Like there's artists that just never get their end of their story, and I really liked Aaliyah, and then her album came out, and I was like, oh my god, that last self-titled album came out, and I was like, oh my god, I can't go buy it now. It's kind of like, but I still did. I was like, oh, but yeah. And she was stunning. She could act. She could sing.
I remember where I was when I heard that the plane crashed.
Yeah.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, I was driving on the thruway in New York State. I don't remember where I was going, but I was alone in the car, and I went, "Whoa!"
Wow.
It's just it was out of nowhere. One of those out of nowhere death.
13?
You were a baby.
It was 23 years? You said 23?
Yeah, 23 years ago.
Yes,
I'm
23
sorry,
years ago.
Fuck. I was 14.
Yeah.
I was 39.
So you would have been in the world.
But I
and
remember it though. Like,
and you know who she is. Yeah. You know who she is. She was a star at the time of her death.
Just
like you know what I mean?
What is it? Left Eye, like Lisa. What's her name? Lopez.
Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Yeah.
Yeah, like she was. I mean, again, I was such a huge fan of TLC, and then when Lisa died, it was just like a huge hit, and then Aaliyah died. Like I don't know if it was before or after, but
it was. Yeah, they were very close.
It was just talent after talent. You know, like too many people were there.
Rest in peace, Aaliyah. She was amazing. I think she doesn't get her dues as a vocalist either because of that.
Yeah, she hasn't got. That post-mortem halo.
Well, it's been so hard to access her music for so. It's been so long. Yeah, it's been so hard to access her music for so long because of the label drama with Blackground Records. That owned her everything. It's finally out on streaming after years and years and years of shit. But there's apparently a lot of stuff in the vault sitting there waiting to. There were rumors of new albums for ages, but it just hasn't happened. But yeah, rest in peace. Go listen to her sing Journey from the Past from Anastasia live at the Emmys.
Right.
Oscars. One of them. Can't remember. But stunning vocal. I was like, you go, girl. For someone that is that young and she was like the first black performer to see. Like she had a career. She would have had a bigger one. It's just like that's okay. It's okay. We can remember her. We can rock the boat, rock the boat, rock the boat, by ourselves. It's all good. So that's all the pop culture stuff I have to say. Oh, but if you haven't already checked it out, there was a little special, not little, very cute, very special interview that dropped on Tuesday where Miss Katrina A. Johnson, Luke, and myself chatted with Mallory Lewis and
Lamb Chop.
It's really funny watching it back because we're chatting away with Mallory, and then Lamb Chop makes her debut on the camera. We're all like, all three of us are like, Lamb Chop, and yeah.
We all suddenly become 4 years old.
Children, it was so funny and we talked about that because Mallory literally she only had a very limited amount of time when she was chatting, and she got offline. 5 minutes later, Luke got an email saying, "I had a blast. You guys are rock stars. When can we do this again?" So, part 2 of the interview will be dropping next week, where we got to sit down with Mallory and Lamb Chop for a longer time and. Lamb Chop's got some stuff to say.
To my page, and all I wrote was Lamb Chop! ! And I had so many people I didn't expect to say, "Wow, Lamb Chop! Oh, Lamb Chop!" It's like
who doesn't know Lamb Chop?
Right.
That's what I was saying.
I love it.
60 years. 60 years. Lamb Chop. Look, she looks a 6-year-old. You got to check it out. Celtic Dragon Paranormal. You got to check it out. Yeah, and just the book was a really interesting read. There is a documentary coming out about Shari Lewis and that Mallory's been really hard at work on. So if you love lamb chop, check out the interviews and then read the book as well. So I thought we'd do something a little bit different because, it's been a bit of a still week. We're going to do an extended view from here this week. So, a couple of different scenarios, ladies. Talk about it.
You're breaking up, Stevie.
You're like underwater.
Hello.
Yes, now
There
I
you
can
go.
hear you.
I've got a couple of scenarios I'm going to pitch to you, ladies, and we're going to talk about it because the good, the bad, and the ugly all come out in certain situations, and one of them is definitely the airport, right?
Mm.
Right. So we have there. This comes from the hallowed halls of Am I the Asshole? Over on Reddit. Because that's where all good things happen, right? All good things happen. Am I the
On
asshole?
Reddit.
On Reddit. So listen up, my friends. This is it. Let me start by saying that traveling with my wife is not a great experience. I'm very type A. I like to have everything organized and make sure that we get to where we need to be early, especially when traveling. My wife is the opposite, very go with the flow, and we'll get there when we get there. I do the best to meet her in the middle, but not when traveling by plane. Dun, dun, dun. So he recounted a story about his wife. They're going to visit their daughter, basically. And then this is the time before. She said our flight was at 10 a.m. Our airport isn't huge, but not a tiny airport either. I told my wife that we needed to be at the airport 90 minutes early, that we leave, and we live about 30 minutes away. This being said, I wanted to leave at the very latest by 8 a.m. When your flight's at 10, yeah, of course, hello. Since we would also need to park and walk a little bit. I, of course, got up at 6 to make sure everything was ready and accounted for. It took me attempting to wake her up 5 times before she eventually got up at 7:40, then wanted to make coffee, shower, eat a bowl of cereal. Let's just say we didn't leave the house until 9. Oh my god! It ended up being busier at the airport than normal, likely due to many colleges having parents' weekends. So it took so long to get through the security that we missed our flight. You think you would learn from that, right? You think you would learn from that? But this next journey required 2 flights.
Oh.
Upon landing at their connecting city, they had 25 minutes to start boarding the next plane. We had to take multiple rails to get from where we landed to our terminal. We got to our terminal, had about 15 minutes until our plane was set to board. My wife tells me she wants to go get coffee. There's a little market next to our terminal that sold hot food and coffee. I asked if she wanted me to go grab it for her. She said, no, I want Starbucks. Starbucks was a rail ride away. Had to walk. I told her that we couldn't do that. We didn't have enough time. Despite his warnings, off she went to get her Starbucks. As the boarding groups were being called, she failed to return, prompting the man to make several calls in vain. Eventually, he was informed by a flight attendant that it was his last call, and he had to make a decision. I tried to plead with her to wait a couple of minutes, but she insisted she couldn't. So I boarded the plane. He had no choice but to instruct his wife to purchase a new ticket with plans to meet her at their daughter's locations. When reconnected at their daughter's school, his wife appeared unfazed, but had been giving him the cold shoulder ever since. So who's in the wrong? I think we have the answer, but who's in the wrong?
Okay. My husband is very wants to be organized, thinks he's organized, but he has anxiety up the ass. So I can see this being us and me just being like, oh, that when I get there, whatever, no big deal. But if he did that to me, I would get on the plane too. I feel like teach her a lesson. in a way. Like, get on the fucking plane. My ticket is here. I'm here. This is my flight. I'm not getting, like, I'm superstitious, number one, and I hate flying, number two, so don't expect me to wait even longer. Like, the pills are kicking in, so I have to get on. Like, there's no way that I'm not making that flight. Like, I'm destined to be on this flight. I'm getting on this flight. So I think, yeah, she is definitely in the wrong. I think the husband was completely in the right, just getting there on time and doing his thing. And again, if I was the wife, fuck yeah, I'm not going to get shit coffee. I'm going to go to Starbucks. But knowing that I'm going to miss my flight, why did she do that? That was a really stupid fucking thing on her part. She must have known and wanted to take a later flight. I mean, who knows? That could have been
Right,
her
yeah.
thing. Like, fuck it. I
Ulterior
want a few hours
motives.
to
We don't
myself.
know.
Right.
Yeah, like, I'll get
We
another
don't-
flight. No big deal.
I'm sure, I am 150% sure that there's a Starbucks on the other end of that plane.
There'll
Yes,
have to
right?
be. It's
Got
America.
on the
They're
plane.
everywhere.
And
Yeah.
there's a Starbucks in every fucking airport in the world.
Yeah.
She could have got her Starbucks at the next stop. I would
Yeah.
have done the same thing as he did. I would have looked at her and said, "Our bags were going. Somebody had to be there to collect the
Yeah,
suitcases."
right?
Somebody had to be there.
Or they'd have been
Yeah.
they'd have been tossed into a room and never seen again.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
somebody had to be on that flight to get those suitcases off.
But do you know
Yeah.
what that also insured? The hallowed empty seat next to him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he paid for it, so we could.
I know, right?
Yeah, go for it, you know?
Yeah.
There is nothing better.
No, and there isn't. I
Cabin
love
doors
that.
closing. You're like,
No.
Shut
So I can
up.
sit back and relax. Yeah.
Yeah, I
fuck
can
yeah.
spread my shit right out, lift up that
Pull your
armrest.
feet up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Up.
Yeah, put a
That's
leg
my
up. Fuck
dream.
me.
Get me one of those
That's
little
right.
tiny airplane blankets.
Yes,
Yeah.
cuddle up and it's all over. And like I've only had it very rarely where it's been like 3 seats. Like I've been the only person in a
Oh my
row, but
God.
that
Oh
is
yeah, I've never had that.
that. I rarely sleep well on planes. I'll do the head nod, snap, like
Yeah.
drool puddle, that kind of thing. But the rare times that it's been 3 seats, I have laid across those seats. I've been like, yes, it's happening. I can actually get off a plane. But yeah, I think she
did
deserved it.
break down and buy myself a bougie neck pillow this time.
Ooh,
Yeah.
And I have to
fancy
say,
lady.
that does make it easier to sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she deserved every bit of the delay. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girlfriend.
why would you risk it? Like
Why?
Starbucks isn't that good. Like, just
Yeah.
like if it's a caffeine thing, just get like I don't know,
If
have a
you
Coke.
have to
Yeah,
get
have a
on
Coke or
tram,
something.
If you're in an airport, if you're in the airport that your gate is, and you know you have 15 minutes, you
15
know
minutes,
you
yeah.
do not have time to get on a tram to go to the next airport.
Exactly.
To then stand and wait in a Starbucks line as well.
Right.
Like, no way,
Fuck,
darling.
bitch.
She's fucking dreaming.
Yeah.
She's
They
dreaming.
would not have suitcases and clothing if she did not get off and collect their suitcases. They would have been locked in a room that nobody had the key to and nobody remembered until somebody sold them on eBay.
Oh,
Yeah,
speaking
right?
of travel partners, hello.
Speaking of bitches. Oop,
Yeah, right.
did I say
Oh,
that?
But no,
Oops, did
yeah,
I say that?
I think that we're all squarely on the side that this is the wife's problem.
Yeah.
But something, look, cut and dry is easy to say, easy for us with perspective. Here's another one that I want to throw your way because it involves the other thing that causes troubles in relationships: money. So, this is Michael Cartledge and Charlotte Cox. Now, they won $1.3 million on a scratch off, yeah? Or a
wow.
scratchy, or,
Fucking A.
in the UK. So, all well and everyone's dream
Right.
until they broke up.
Oh, shit.
They'd only been together for 3 months. And now there is a fight about who is entitled to what part of the $1.3 million.
Who
I'll
paid for
give
the
you.
ticket?
I will give you some perspective. Yeah. So Cox, Charlotte, spent her own money on the winning scratch card, and the mum of one was the one who scratched off the card revealing the winnings. However, Cartledge claims that it was his idea to buy the ticket and that he tried to send Cox money that she spent on the card. It gets twisted. Initially, the lotto organizer was a company called Camelot, and Camelot reviewed the. This is how serious it is. Camelot reviewed the CCTV footage of the couple buying the card. Cartledge claims they ruled that the winnings could be split, but that lottery company has recently been taken over by another one who have deferred to the buyer. So,
Yeah.
who owns that money?
The girl.
The person who put
Right.
the dollar down,
Right?
Yes.
you know, or the
So the-
euro or the pound.
Well, the
whatever
legal,
fuck
the
it
legal,
costs.
you know, the legal
Tender.
ramifications, like the tiny paperwork, is that the winnings can only go to one person, and it is the person whose name and address is written on the back of the ticket, which nobody ever does, right?
No.
No.
No. So,
Well,
because
now I'm going
there is a spot on the
Oh, yeah,
scratch
there
offs that
is.
name
I've seen
and
it.
address.
Yeah.
No one ever does it, but that's illegal because I don't think it was written on. So,
Wow.
but I agree. I think this guy is grubbing for money. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and I always money is always a big sticking point in relationships because there's that school of it's our money. We do things together. We
Not
are
in a
creating a
3
life
month
together.
relationship,
Rah rah.
no.
I know. Not in a 3-month relationship.
Not in a
But there's
3 month
also relationships that's like, this is your money and this is my money, and we choose together what we choose to spend our money on. In a 3-month
Exactly.
relationship,
In
I
a
think
3
you are
month, had they been
dreaming.
together for 10 years, my mind might be changed. But 3
Yeah.
months, fuck you. I got
Yeah.
We got underwear
I
out
got
of
no
that relationship.
sympathy for him. I
Hey.
got no sympathy
Yeah.
for him. She put
Yeah.
the money down. She bought the ticket. She gets to say.
She did the
Yeah.
physical action of scratch. Like, if you reveal the win, it's technically yours, right? He was just standing
it's her
on
ticket. Yeah.
mouth breathing. It's like, yeah,
That's
it's not
her
even a thing,
ticket.
but it's amazing how, like, money just makes people go, I should have that. That should be mine.
Yeah.
I should have that. Give that to me. I want that. 3 months.
Yeah.
My God. You're lucky if you even like met the parents and stuff like that. It's like, okay, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think
no.
Charlotte's gonna have a great time with her 1 million.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would do
Yeah,
it,
great
girlfriend. Do it. Well, someone that isn't having a great day. This has been supplied by Vera.
This I thought was pretty funny.
This is not a great day, but we'll watch and we'll discuss in a second. Here we go.
Worst, most failed team building exercise maybe in the history of the office, of the cubicle for sure. It all started a couple weeks ago when a team of 15 people went on a company hike up a marked trail in Colorado to take in a beautiful view in the Rockies. They got there at about 11:30 a.m. One individual, I'm assuming it's a guy, was a little bit slower than the rest and decided to make the summit on his own. Everybody else headed down the mountain. Many hours went by, and this individual had not been accounted for, so he sends a pin drop to his colleagues, and he says, I'm lost. And they're like, oh, you got to go back up. You're making a wrong turn. He goes back up. Many more hours go by. He is not located. He sends another pin. He's still in the wrong location. Then a storm rolls in.
Oh, no.
I've read about that.
Then a storm rolls in. Freezing rain, high winds. He's not accounted for 9 hours.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Finally, as night falls, somebody from the team was like, hey, what happened? And so they call search and rescue. They go in. a full overnight occurs. They can't locate him. They finally extract him because he got like a whiff of a cell phone signal and dialed 911.
What?
This is such a crazy situation for team building that even the search and rescue guys who are thanking their whole team and saying, great job, everybody.
Right.
This is really, he got out alive. They say it could cause some, quote, awkward encounters at the office in the coming days and
Yeah.
weeks. I think so.
That's a fact.
Go back and get your guy.
First of all,
Oh my
If-
god.
any company that I ever worked for said, let's go on a hike, they would have my resignation straight away. Ain't nothing good happens
Yeah.
on a hike.
No.
I'll take my nature on a postcard.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I fucking hate team building shit. Oh my god.
Well, if
Team
you're building
building.
a fucking team, you do not let 9 hours go by.
9 hours.
Yeah, right. What are you doing? Like, what?
Talk about
With the
not
first
building
pin.
the team.
But like, why wasn't the search party sent out when he sent like the first pin?
Yeah.
And then
Exactly,
like when he
that
got
was my
service
thought.
again, like still nothing happened. And like again, unaccounted for 9 hours. What do you mean he was unaccounted for 9 hours? He pinned somebody. Like
He pinned
that's
him
what I'm not
twice.
getting. Like yeah, like what's going on? Like we can find Joe Schmo in the snow somewhere. Like I don't know what the situation was, the storm, if it was a snowy mountain or if it was just rain or whatever, but I don't know. Again, if you're telling me that I have to go on a hike, is it a part of my job description? Because if it's not, I'm not doing it. Like
Right.
they had a team building for my company one time. It was at Top Golf, which is like a what do you call it? Like a driving range, but a fun one. It has like laser lights and it tracks your ball, and it's not a driving range. It's you drink and you just hit balls off the thing like for fun.
It's drunk white folks golf. Like
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm not going. I didn't go. Like I don't do things. Like that's not a thing that I like to do. Like I work with you. If I want to like you and see you outside of work, that's on my terms. Like I'll go for the company Christmas dinner. Other than that, you're not going to see me. Like I have a life and I don't need to. I see you 40 goddamn hours a week. I don't need to see you outside of work.
The forced socialization. You're like, no, I don't. I will choose if I want to hang out with you.
There've been a bunch of team building exercises that I've been to over my lifetime. And usually if it's all right, you don't have to work that day, everybody meet at the spa and we'll have lunch and we'll get pedicures, whatever the team building activity is. If it gets me out of work that day, I'll go.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly.
If I got to come in on a Saturday to go, I don't care for you people that much.
Yeah, I'm not getting paid for it.
But if this is an executive team building kind of activity where you're checking in on survival skills and common sense, nobody calls fucking search and rescue when he drops the first pin.
Right?
That's a fail.
He's found. Like, I don't know.
That's a fail, guys. Like you know, that's not a success. That's not a successful team.
Yeah, I give him.
Who would leave somebody behind?
Thinking about dropping the pin.
Yeah.
I might call 911 myself if I can drop a pin. I can call 911. But
but I don't get like you were saying. It's supposed to be a team building exercise. Isn't the whole thing behind team building that you don't leave like we're all supporting each other? We're like, we support our strongest member like we support our weakest member. We all carry each other. We all, we're all going to work together to achieve a goal, and not just let old mate he must be as annoying as fuck.
Oh yeah,
because why would they let him go?
About him. Yeah,
it's like 9 hours. 9 hours in the wilderness when there's a fucking torrential storm, and everyone's like,
we have
fucking hours.
We should call someone.
Nobody called search and rescue. They're all fucking.
We actually, how like the people that show Minute to Win It. Do you remember that game? It'd be like minute-long little things that you like, little games, things that you had, little games that you had to compete in, right? We did that on the clock. In my old team, like same company, different team that I was working with, and I tell you, that was one of the funnest times I've had at work, like, and again, being paid. We had, you had to pull as many tissues out of the box in like 30 or whatever, 60
Right.
seconds. And then you had to like drink the soda, like balance the soda can on the side, Then there was one where you had to put, like, there's a shot glass in a fish tank full of water, and you had to drop quarters into the shot glass. Like, so one of those things. And I mean, we were down to the wire. It was like this was the last point, right? So this woman, Lorelei, was doing this, and I had never spoken to Lorelei before that day. And again, because this was the whole point of the team building, there was a couple of new people in the certain teams, whatever. Lorelei, and she's an older woman. She dropped the last quarter. The entire room was like, yes! The camaraderie that we felt that in that 30 seconds, it was just like we were all like jumped, like we had just won the championship of anything. It was just the best thing ever in life. And until that day, it's like the best story that me and Lorelei have now together. And it's just like, remember that day we did that minute to win a game? Like, and
well, she can come through in a pinch.
Like, yes,
she can come through in a pinch when the pressure's on.
Yes,
Rely on Lorelei.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
My very first job after college, I was working in an art department, and I got promoted to management, and I was not only the youngest person there, I was the only female. And we had this management team building activity, and the guy throws up these problems on the board, right? And they're really simple algebra problems. And
I
solved them in 35 seconds, and I said, it's 24 and 8 hours. You know what I mean? That kind of algebra.
Yeah.
And my direct boss was like, how did you do that? You don't know that's right. I said, yeah, I do. It's the rate times time equals distance. I said, it's algebra. It's 6th grade. And they're like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. They spent 2 hours looking at this problem. And the moderator says, she was right after 5 minutes, and not one of you took her seriously.
Yeah, there you go. That exposes the team, doesn't it? That's definitely. That's funny. We went out for dinner last night for one of the girls that works at the dance studio, and we just happened to be trivia night.
Right.
And we're like, I am older than these kids by like a lot, and we were just sitting there, and you know what? We came second.
Oh wow!
We were tied first, and then the tiebreaker question was based on one of the other questions about the song lyrics of Bryan Adams. Everything I do it for you. They didn't know that song, but I did. It was like, how long is the run time of the music video?
Oh, come the fuck on!
Well, I remember. You know that there's all those like scenes and stuff in that music. Like it stops, and I said 4 minutes, so it's actually 6. So we missed it by that much. But I was very impressed with the communal knowledge. I was very impressed with our communal knowledge. It was team building. We had a nice night. We had a very nice night. But there is something that I think we could all admit that, we have in the past from jobs maybe taken things that weren't necessarily ours. Maybe. Not to the point of
like a stapler?
Yeah, just a little thing like here and there. A little thing here and there. But it never eventuated in prison time for us, has it?
No. They haven't caught me, so
it has. For one woman who loved chicken wings so much that she stole an estimated $1.5 million worth of them and ended up in prison for the next 9 years.
Jesus!
How the hell could you steal that many chicken wings?
Here's the story. What? According to WGN, former food service director for Harvey School District's Vera Liddell had been accused of stealing a large amounts of boxed food which had been intended for students studying remotely during the coronavirus pandemic. There had been a
Wait,
scheme set up
repeat
where the
that.
school would still provide meals for the students and they'd pick them up themselves. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's like, yeah. The US-based woman is accused of ordering 11,000 cases of chicken wings from the school's food provider and picking them up herself. The wings never made it to the school or into the hands of the students. During an
What did
audit,
she
it had
do?
been here we go. During an audit, it had been found that the school district was $300,000 over its annual budget, despite only being halfway through the year.
Jesus.
Prosecutors said they found invoices signed by Liddell ordering huge amounts of food, mostly chicken wings, which wouldn't have been served to students since it contained bones.
Right.
She ended up pleading guilty to stealing around 11,000 boxes of chicken wings, which she'd ordered. Was sentenced to 9 years behind bars for pilfering the pandemic poultry.
Oh my God.
That's
What
insane.
about all
Like,
the Congress people that forgave themselves loans?
I know. Forgive her the chicken wings, right? Forgive her a chicken wing. It's like,
I would have been like, it was a typo. I meant 1,100. You know, like.
I don't know that there's anything that is that
Oh, man.
delicious that I would want to steal. Like
Oh.
11.
She had a side
Where,
Chicken
hustle.
tenders.
She was delivering those wings to people for
where
money.
do you put 11,000 boxes of
Exactly.
chicken wings?
Exactly.
Who you got a deep freeze in
Yeah.
the basement? I mean,
So you can't
I could
pour
throw
that
11,000 boxes.
Well,
11,000
think about it. I
boxes.
cooked a bunch, right? If I cook a bunch and I go to like a fair and I set up a tent, somebody's gonna eat them, right? If I have a big enough deep fryer, let's get this shit cooking, sell them off real quick, make my money. Again, I
Let's
got
be
the deep
honest,
freeze
you
at
can't-
home.
No one can say no to a good chicken wing. Like a good chicken
Yeah.
wing. Yeah, like come on.
We
You're
don't
frying
even know
them
if
up
she did a
good.
good chicken wing. Some people can fuck up a chicken wing.
That's true.
You know,
Probably just gave them to birds. Who knows?
She
the
gave
fuck
them to
does that?
birds. Cannibalism.
Give to friends.
But 9 years of all the things, like 9
Yeah, 9
years
years
for
does
chicken
seem
wings.
excessive for chicken wings.
Like, I think that's a little
It's
much.
$1.5 million worth of chicken wings.
Yeah,
That's a
it's
lot
not
of
9
fucking money,
worth,
bro.
9 years worth of jail. I feel like, you know, that's a lot. I
So
would
she
do
should have
4.
she should have to work like do community service at a poultry farm or something. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
well then
right?
shackled.
Shackled.
See where
you know?
the well, so she doesn't take any
Wait,
more
her
fucking wings
backpack
off
on the
any
way
bird.
out. Yeah.
Her wings were
Like,
clipped.
oh my God. Yeah.
Frisker, she's been known to pilfer a wing. It's like
Oh my God.
that's intense, man. Like I would know, but it gets to that point where we all, you know, even those of us that aren't on the spectrum, we all have our little food obsessions. But you get to a point where if you eat something too many times, you go, oh.
One
Yeah.
person
Can't
did
imagine.
not eat that many wings. She had a
I-
side hustle. I'm sure.
She would
like
have to,
Christina
right?
said, she was at the state fair with
Yeah,
the tent,
she was
you know?
doing something.
That was
Yeah.
a side hustle. She was
There's
She's
no
a-
fucking
eating
way.
that many wings.
Unless she's a
Black market
500-pound woman,
Yeah.
you know, who can't get up
Even
after, you know,
then,
2 months.
Even then, you cannot eat that many wings.
Yeah. No.
The
No.
stomach is not that big.
You're right. And again, like I would just be like, nah, it's too much chicken. Like, let's switch to steak tonight. Like
So-
was the budget over just on chicken? Like, you know, you said it was other things,
5
right?
dozen
Like,
wings is too much for one person to eat.
yeah.
Well, here you
I
go.
You could not eat
The world record for eating chicken wings is 276 in 12 minutes, set by
Oh my God.
a record set by Aussie bloke James Webb.
You know what? Maybe she had like an all-you-can-eat chicken, like a chicken eating contest, like a wing contest in her
Maybe.
local town.
Who
You know,
Maybe.
there's so many things that she could have done with these. Given to maybe she went to a homeless shelter. You know,
Yeah, maybe-
she gave
maybe-
them away.
yeah. You never know. Maybe she felt charitable.
That many wings and not have somebody notice.
I
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
right?
Like,
Wow, Estelle's
who's looking
in
at the
charge of
order
ordering
forms?
chicken wings, and suddenly she's president of the Chicken Wing Foundation.
Yeah.
Chicken Wings
Come on.
Foundation. I
I'm
love it.
not a rocket scientist, but I'm asking how to
Something's
spell
off.
Estelle.
Yeah, something's up.
Yeah.
Look, something is up, and something's always up. Something's always fresh, hot, and cooking with Vera because she has a little segment that we love to call Vera Vent.
Just
Okay.
a lot of feelings.
You got a lot of feelings. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
As I stated earlier, I did spend last week in Chicago, and one of the things that I saw a lot of, in spite of the fact that I didn't see any of the interior of the convention, I saw the protesters. And I've seen these protesters protesting for the lives of the citizens of Gaza, many places. They've been ongoing since the Israeli offensive after the October 6th attack. Now, I am not anti-Palestinian. I am not in any way pro-Israeli. I feel that there really needs to be a two-state solution, and I support the fact that Gaza has a right to, Palestine has a right to exist, and the citizens of Gaza were living in a deplorable apartheid prior to the October 7th attacks. That being said, I want to address the people that are protesting the democratic events. I know that you have all the free speech in the world, and you have the right to exercise your opinion, and you have the right to make your feelings known. But if you are withholding your vote from the Democrats because you support Palestine, I want to make you aware of a couple things. First and foremost, Donald Trump has been friends with Netanyahu since the 1980s. They have been buds. They've golfed together. They are friends. Second, their careers are very parallel. They both have lost elections and come back. They both have been indicted for fraud. They have a lot of similarities. These guys are two peas in the pod. They are such good friends that Donald Trump has said out loud more than once that when he is president, or if he were president at this time, he would tell Netanyahu, and he actually said Bibi, which is Netanyahu's nickname among those who are his friends, he would tell Bibi just to do what he had to do, just get it done quick because killing doesn't look good. So I want you all to have free speech. I want you to make your feelings known. I am not trying to squelch free speech. But if you think you're going to get a better shake with the other party, I got to tell you, you're wrong. And that's it.
Yeah, that's all she's got.
It's
short, sweet, and steamy today, baby.
Shorter because you keep running long, and I keep getting.
I'm sorry, and I forgot. Heaven forbid, I forgot that week. Everyone looked at me in complete nanish. We were on a roll that week, though. We had a lot to say. It's all good. Yeah, heaven forbid, we always have a lot to say, but we've had a lot to say. Today was fun. I like talking about chicken wings and lottery tickets and bitches at an airport. Like, come on, that's always fun.
Feel. It wasn't quite
that's nice. It's always looking at other people's problems are always fun to talk about because they're not ours. They are not our problems. But please tune in next Tuesday for more Mallory Lewis and Lamb Chop, where things get more. Things get deep. Things get deep. But Lamb Chop has a lot to say on a lot of topics. She's very verbose.
She's been around for a long time. She's seen a lot.
It's been a long 6 years for Lamb Chop, you know. It's been a very long 6 years. But she's a charmer, so is Mallory. Thank you so much, Vera and Christina, for joining us today. I've been Steve. This has been UCL Live. Until next week, keep your chicken wings and your coffee to yourself. I think it's the best advice. Ciao! It just stresses me. The whole eating competition thing just stresses me out, especially the hot dog thing with the water.
Oh, hot
and
dog ones, no.
yeah, I like a hot dog too much. I couldn't do that to a hot dog.
Oh,
Oh.
I can't.